Good morning, folks. It is Julie and Miranda here with Comic Talk episode number 4. And we're going to jump right into it this morning with Psycho Bonkers number 1. This book was a really great all-ages book. I would describe it as Speed Racer with sentient vehicles and a female protagonist. But really, it feels a lot like watching Speed Racer, which I was really happy about. The artist used some amazing colors. The lines are really great. It's, for those of you who don't know Speed Racer, we have a young girl whose entire goal in life is to be the best racer on these really extreme courses. And it's just really fun, lighthearted, good stuff. So I would absolutely suggest picking this up if you're looking for something a little different and off the edge. But really, I loved the art. So definitely if you're an art fan, check this one out.
Looks like the rainbow just threw up on the book. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it kind of did. Oh, and I forgot that there's a little flying sentient robot as well. So there's a lot of quipping.
How could you forget?
I know I'm terrible. But there's a lot of quipping and banter, and it's really quite fun and enjoyable.
Well, my first book has a lot of quipping and banter. I picked up the Grayson Annual number 2. Essentially, Nightwing and Superman have to team up to stop some villains in Gotham. And it's really kind of, I really enjoyed it because it was somewhat like the old days before New 52. You kind of get that Nightwing and Superman relationship that you kind of miss. Really nice, a lot of banter, a lot of just, again, good relationship. The art's really great, although I have to say, I still don't like the new Superman look. I miss the cape, I miss the tights. But the personality's still there, and I know new 52 Superman personality kind of was iffy for me in some books. He was kind of really big jerk. But this one, he's not. So I really liked it. Good annual. It's very sentimental, which I really like. And they leave you with something at the end, which I think is a lead into Robin Wars. May or may not, but that's kind of the drift I got. I'm really excited.
I'm so excited. I can't wait until I read my copy. Can't wait.
So good.
On the Robin War train, I also read We Are Robin, number 1 this week. Number 4 is on the shelves now, so I'm a little behind on this. It's straight talk, folks. It's because when I read the solicitation, I looked at it and I said, well, that looks like a piece of garbage. But you can't trust the solicitation. You should really, I've learned from this that I need to try more books because this was a gem. I really enjoyed it. You start off, you're following Duke, who we've met in a few issues of Batman, and he is trying to find his parents and dealing with being a kid in the Gotham Child Protective Services. So he's bouncing from foster home to foster home, going from high school to high school, dealing with all of those kinds of issues while still trying to find his parents who were caught up in some of the mess that's happened in Gotham lately. In the background, what he's not aware of is that there's a mysterious force who is choosing young kids from Gotham to become a Robin team of sorts. So I'm really looking forward to where this is going to go, especially with having just learned about Robin Wars yesterday. I can't wait to see what's happening with this. I'm looking forward to catching up on this one over the next week. So, check this out if you're a Robin fan. Check it out if you're a Bat Family fan. And if you're not any of those, then check it out anyways because it's a hidden gem.
And just to point out, I didn't really know who Duke was. I wasn't introduced to the character until this book, but I don't think that you need to know his background. It kind of just, it just kind of jumps in and it kind of resets his background for you, which I like.
You get it's the kind of number 1 I really love because it introduces you to everything. Yeah. It assumes you know nothing, and that's kind of wonderful.
Yeah. So, my second book is from Under Mountains. It's an Image book. Essentially, it takes place in this fantasy world where it follows the lives of 3 people, a lord's daughter, a disgraced knight, and this kind of runaway thief. To be quite honest, that's all I could really tell you about this book because it was, for me, a little bit confusing. It really just jumps in with the plot with no background or anything, so I kind of didn't know what was going on. Plus, I feel like this this is the first issue just to kind of introduce who you're going to follow and not necessarily give you an in-depth, like, plot line. I think that's going to come further into the books. That being said, the art is really beautiful. I really enjoyed it. That's kind of why I picked it up. I flipped through and I thought, oh, this looks pretty. And
I choose so many books on that, Mary.
it's so bad. And I really like I said, the art's really pretty, and the fantasy land looks really, really interesting. You introduced witches, there's going to be some goblins, a lot of other fantasy creatures, which I'm excited to see what kind of role they play. And I think I might pick up number 2, just kind of see what happens, because like I said, they laid it out, but they didn't really go into it as much. I think they wanted to introduce you, who they are, where they are, and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, third up for me is A Wrinkle in Time graphic. A Wrinkle in Time graphic novel. So, this, as you can see, right now I'm reading the novel as well. I just finished the graphic novel and it whet my appetite to read the book again. This is a wonderful adaptation that has been done by Hope Larson. Sorry, I had to double check. It's a very simplistic art style in white, kind of a charcoal gray and a light blue, which really lets you still use your imagination to fill in a lot of the details. But it's a wonderful adaptation from the novel into the graphic novel. There's really nothing that gets lost. You're getting all of the story, which is preteen Margaret Murray, goes by Meg, goes on an adventure with a boy from her school, Calvin O'Keefe, and her little brother, Charles Wallace Murray. And they end up in space on a hunt for Mr. Murray, the Charles Wallace and Meg's father. And it's really just a great book. I read it the first time when I was probably 12, and I loved it, and I continue to love it. It's by Canadian author Madeleine L'Engle, and I am looking forward. I'm hoping that Hope Larson, completely unintentional, hoping Hope Larson carries on adapting Madeleine L'Engle's novels because she did such a wonderful job.
Awesome. And my last one is another graphic novel as well. It is Avatar: The Last Airbender, Smoke and Shadow, Part 1.
This is volume 16. I think it's volume 16.
I believe so. There are a number of other Avatar stories that take place after the TV show. I think this might be the 4th, maybe 5th.
Okay.
I'm not
Full
too sure.
story.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, so essentially, it follows, the usual gang. It follows Zuko. He's Fire Lord now. And this is going to be spoilers for the previous book, so if you don't want to know about it, skip, like, 15, 30 seconds. So, essentially, Zuko's found his mom, and he's going back with her, Aang and the gang, back to the Fire Nation, except he's met with a new organization called the New Ozai Society, and they don't want him, obviously, to be Fire Lord, so they're attempting to get rid of him. It's really good book so far. I think there's going to be a couple more parts to it, so I'm really excited to read more. I like it because I'm a huge fan of the Avatar series, and I think it's a really good continuation of the TV show. So I think this is both for kids, obviously, but for the adults who've grown up watching the show and whatnot and kind of want to continue and to see what happens after they, defeat the Fire Lord. So it's really, really good. The art style is almost identical to the TV show, which I really like. Helps you carry on into the series, and I highly, highly recommend it.
Fantastic. Alright, well that is 4 comics and 2 graphic novels for you this week. We look forward to seeing you all again next week.
Bye!
Bye!